According to astronomers, there's a binary star system that may explode in your lifetime. Carrie Casella, Science Alert reports. This is something that was originally posted a few months ago. An ordinary-looking star system barely visible in the night sky. It appears to have a very bright future in store, and if astronomers' predictions are correct, some of us might even be around to see this. These days, V838, or STScI for short, is so faint it's hard to find up there, even with a mid-sized telescope. But over the next few decades, as it's sucked into the nearby white dwarf, all of that could change. Experts at Louisiana State University think this pair of celestial underdogs is destined to become the most luminous star in our Milky Way galaxy, brighter even than the star Sirius, which currently holds the top spot. At least that is for some 60-odd years. As a star and its dwarf companion gradually become one, their merge is set to create the explosion of a lifetime and is just around the corner. Now, this is what astronomer physicist Bradley Schaefer from Louisiana State University, LSU, says. Around the year 2083, its accretion rate will rise catastrophically, spilling mass at incredibly high rates into the white dwarf, with this material blazing away. In the final days of its death spiral, all of the mass from the companion star will fall into the white dwarf, creating a supermassive wind from the merging star, appearing as bright as Sirius, possibly even as bright as Venus, he said. In fact, the author thinks the explosion could end up being the brightest known nova of all time, nearly as bright as a supernova. Please support my Patreon account since YouTube has again demonetized my YouTube channel. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below. The last time the world experienced something this extreme was just over a century ago, and the V838 star system is different from this past explosion in more ways than one. On their own, white dwarfs are merely embers of dying stars, doomed to blaze into invisibility, but when they're in a binary system with a nearby companion star like V838 is, they can steal enough fuel from their neighbor to survive, however briefly. This is similar to, but not quite the same as, a classic nova, which occurs when the white dwarf surface is heated by a nearby star until runaway nuclear fusion is achieved. Instead, so-called dwarf nova, such as V838, are known as cataclysmic variables, or CVs, and they are caused when an ordinary star slowly falls into a white dwarf in a binary orbit. In the whole galaxy, there are probably more than 1 million cataclysmic variables, or CVs, but astronomers say V838 is the most extreme we've seen so far, roughly 100 times more luminous than all the other known examples. And that's probably because the companion star's sheer size, which is nearly 4 times bigger than the hungry white dwarf devouring it. In all other known CVs, the white dwarf is more massive than the orbiting normal star, so V838 is utterly unique, Schaefer says. Measuring V838's brightness in old sky photos archived in Harvard College Observatory, the team has put together a detailed history of the star going all the way back to the 1890s. Looking over this timeline, it appears V838 is spiraling into the dwarf star much faster than we thought, moving even closer towards a mass transfer of matter that will likely be highly explosive. Because V838 is so big, the authors calculate almost all of its gas will have to fall into the dwarf star within the last few weeks and days of the merge, driving a stellar wind larger than anything seen before. Astronomer Johan Frank from LSU says V838 is exponentially gaining luminosity with a doubling time scale of 89 years, This brightening can only result with the rate of mass falling off the normal companion star increasing exponentially, ultimately because the binary orbit is spiraling rapidly. Given some uncertainty around the final date of this remarkable nova, the team thinks the two stars will merge sometime between 2069 and 2099, which means some of us may actually see it with our own eyes. Now people the world over can know that they will see a wondrous guest star shining as the brightest in the sky for a month or so, being pointed at by the arrow just below Cygnus the Swan, says Schaefer. Now, the findings here were presented at the 235th American Astronomical Society meeting. The first version was published January 2020, and this is on Science Alert, 3rd of October, today, 2021, by Carly Casella. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support.